Good afternoon and welcome to Tales from the Lounge. I'm Kerry Anne and this for Discover TV. Hello, Werner.
Hey, what's up?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm daydreaming.
I'm daydreaming after watching your beautiful performances.
Thank you so much, man.
I've loved you since day one, and
Oh,
your
man.
lyric and your sound is just incredible. So thank you so much for hanging out
Thank
today.
you. It's a big pleasure.
Really awesome stuff. So let's first chat about the cover that you performed today,
Yeah.
Ben Howard.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that song?
So I forgot that I have to do a cover, and this is one that I sort of always do, and when I feel like I want to do something that's super emotive, and that sort of stands out, and that is a bit different, and it's a song that's really close to my heart because my sister. It's about his sister, so my sister's very close to me. We're best friends, and always when I sing that song, I think of her, and the emotion just comes through very well.
What an amazing story, and what an incredible artist to play a rendition of today.
Yeah.
Talking about Ben Howard and artists that inspire you being a singer-songwriter, which artists are inspiring you at the moment? Which artists made you start making the beautiful music that you do?
Cool, yeah. So I think Ben Howard and Damien Rice were definitely my first influences, and the artists that I really love to listen to when I was a child and when I was like a teenager, like very angsty sort of music. And now currently I'm listening to lots of Matt Holubowski, who's a guy from Canada, and Dan Mangan as well, also from Canada. And then there's this Australian lady called Angie McMahon, who's making amazing music, and I discovered her through my sister actually, who just sent me a song, and I haven't stopped listening to her. In fact, I find myself in the car just like skipping through songs until I get to her songs, and then just listen to them.
Favorites, and then you always go back to that. So that's awesome, and it's great that you're sharing music with your sister. It's always great to share music with loved ones because that's the power and the magic of music. Is it makes you remember the people that you love and a time in your life when you were driving your car to visit your sister or someone very special in your life, and that's the song you heard or a song that they sent to you, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Let's talk a bit about the originals that you performed.
yeah. So the first one was called originally it was called Penny Lane, but there are so many songs out there that's called Penny Lane, so I renamed it to I'm With You. And it's sort of it's a relatively older song. It's about 4 years old now. And I wrote it when I was in a relationship, and I could feel when the relationship started that like 3 months in, that it wasn't going to last. And I realized this, and I wrote this song, and I sort of based it around the VW Beetle that my girlfriend at the time was driving, and the car kept breaking down. So I sort of used that as a metaphor for our relationship. And 7 months later, we broke up. So I should have probably gotten out of it. But yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to be the one to let someone else down, I suppose.
That's very considerate and a different way of looking at things. But I'm glad that you were in that relationship with her because it brought us I'm With You, which is one of my favorite songs.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like that song, and that relationship taught me a lot about myself as well. So I'm also glad I went through it, even though it didn't end well. It was good for me as a person to go through that.
Well, John Lennon said, we rather regret the things we didn't do than the ones that we did.
Yeah.
So that's a great way of looking at things. And the last original that you performed.
Yeah, so that one was called Coffee Fields, and I wrote the song, 5 years ago? Just before I'm With You. I wrote the song, and my parents were going through a divorce at the time, and at that point I was writing loads of songs. It just sort of flowed out of me because I think I was in a difficult situation, and oftentimes as an artist, when you're in a difficult situation and you feel bad, your creative flow just goes wild. And in that time I wrote the song, I thought it was just like a concept song, like something that I thought of, like a story that I dreamt up, and it's about a guy who loves a girl, but she's long gone, and he can't be with her anymore. And then about last year, the year before, I realized that the song was actually about my parents' divorce and me feeling lost in my own home and sort of feeling like I didn't have a home and that I was missing the love that I used to receive from my parents and that we as a family had. And so the song went a lot deeper than I had initially realized. And it's sort of, that's why it's one of my favorites now, because it really, my own song taught me something about myself that I didn't know before that.
Again, the power of music. and now I have goosebumps because of that story. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing all of these stories through your music with us.
It's such a pleasure, man.
You're a beautiful storyteller. Please
Thank
never,
you.
ever stop telling stories,
I
Werner.
won't. I love it.
You're just really special.
Thank you.
There's something very special inside you that comes out whenever you write a song and whenever you perform a song. And it's a very real sound with real meaning behind it. And you can tell.
Thank you, Kerry Anne.
Cool. So before you go, any South African artists that have inspired you or that you've worked with along the way that we should check out or that you'd like to work with again?
Yeah, so when I was studying, I listened to a lot of Shadow Club because we also did some of their songs in our syllabus. And last year at Lush, I met Jacques, who's now currently doing his solo project. And we've been performing a lot together, and that's something that I only dreamt of before that. And I mean, I used to look up to him. Well, I still do look up to him so much. So that's definitely my favorite at the moment. And I mean, the classics are always there, like Aching and Fok of Polisikar. They're also my favorites. And I really do feel that we have so much talent. I mean, you set me up with a gig the other day where I saw a band called What We Are. So cool when they announce themselves on stage and say, "We are what we are," and they're as cool as their name is. Just like inspiring, super cool. We've got so much talent. I don't know why we're just not putting ourselves out there, and I feel like we're on the brink of like breaking into the international industry. So that's great.
We definitely should have done more breaking out, but we definitely are doing more and more as we speak. Thank you so much for playing that gig. It was magic. Everyone just raving about your absolute talent. And just check out Jacques Moulman, Shadow Club, have a new album out, Big Green Mamba Dream, and Jacques bringing out some incredible solo music. And maybe you'll bring out something together at some point.
Yeah, that's sort of hopefully in the pipeline.
Fantastic. The awesome Werner Bekker on DiscovrTV for Tales from the Lounge from Smoking Kills. I'm Kerry Anne. Thank you so much for checking us out. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Cheers.